Hello, friendly nerds. Today we got a dev blog update, and patch 1.1 is almost here, and I kinda want to show you guys what the changes they're about to make on 1.1. I'm gonna keep the page of the 1.1 announcement. I think it's this one. No, it's not. There's one on the here, patch notes. No, it's not this one. My god. What's new? It's this one. Okay, it's this one showing what's new. So this one is almost old news, but I'm gonna give you a resume of this part, and then I'm gonna show you guys the today post what they're showing of new stuff here. And I'm quite excited about it. I think it's gonna give some new air to the game, making some things easier, giving some new stuff for us to do. And I just think that's awesome. So stick with me if you're liking my videos. Please like and subscribe. This helped me a lot. Let's go. So a quick resume. On patch 1.1, there are 8 new contents that they're gonna release for us. First one is an evade technique that it's a skill, but it's not fixed on the skill slot. It's an evade that every class is gonna have. It's a short dodge, actually. That gives the option of not having that gives you the option of not having a traversal skill in your build. So I think it's a great idea. It gives us more mobility anyways, and more playability, more playing options. So I think that's very cool. Of course, some new items are gonna work with this build, with this option, and are gonna improve evade. So you can have just evade, just an improved evade, and that's very cool. The next thing is the Nemesis system. The Nemesis system, I remember playing it on Grim Dawn, and I really like it. So the Nemesis system is a random boss encounter that you're gonna find in the middle of the game. And this boss is gonna offer you some item options that you can take, you can leave, or you can empower them. So if you leave, it's called banish, and the encounter is gonna be put to rest, and it's gonna go away. So the next encounter is gonna come with new items. That's it. If you challenge and you win the challenge, you'll get the items. That's it. And if you choose to empower, then you're gonna get the option on the next encounter of higher tier affixes, more legendary potential, and that kind of stuff. Of course, experimental potential items, affixes, are not an option. It's just normal affixes. But they can go as high as tier 7, and LP, I don't know, maybe they can go up to tier LP4. But that's just great. I think that's an awesome farming option for a lot of us which don't like today. We just stand on echoes and farm. So this is gonna make things easier, and it's gonna provide a new challenge. So I think it's awesome. And from Nemesis, you got this option, Egg of the Forgotten, a new item that you can drop it to get a unique item. Change it to a random unique item if drops, or empowered. Okay. Or you can be replaced with a unique item that lacks both legendary and weaver's will. Or you can put it in the place of a unique item to put some legendary potential or weaver's will on it. Nice farming option. It's gonna make things easier, it's gonna make builds stronger, and it's probably gonna make us go higher on corruption and facing higher corruption bosses, and that's just awesome. The new faction, Harbingers and the Forgotten Knights. The new faction is the Forgotten Knights, okay? The Harbingers are a new boss, so okay, he started talking about the Forgotten Knights. The Forgotten Knights, the new faction. You can have the Bazaar, the Prophecies, and the Forgotten Knights. I'm sorry. You can have the Bazaar or the Prophecies, and then you can have the Forgotten Knights on both of them. So the Forgotten Knights is a whole new faction that's gonna level up just the same as the other ones. And it's gonna offer you rewards for leveling up, for finishing echoes, and for killing Harbinger bosses. They offer a new glyph called the Glyph of Envy. So this new glyph, I'm gonna go over there here. It's a new glyph that has a new function. So when you use this glyph, you choose an affix, then it's gonna upgrade this affix, and it's gonna change all the other affixes. And it's pretty much nice for farming, like you find a affix that you want and you wanna check you wanna change the other ones, that's its function. But it's also gonna increase timeline stability from a monolith timeline, the one you're in, from what I could understand, to the most recent monolith timeline. So from the last one that you've entered, the last one that you've played is the one that's gonna be upgraded, the timeline stability, making it easier to fight bosses, to farm bosses, and to increase corruption. There's another item to increase corruption, that's the Harbinger's Needle. So when you find it, where do you find it? When you find this item, okay, so this is an item that I'm not sure where it drops, but you put it in your idol equipment, you equip it as an idol, and it increases, it gives you 3 Gaze of Aerobus. Each Gaze of Aerobus gives us 10 corruption, when 10 plus corruption when we defeat the Shade of Aerobus. So this item helps us raise corruption faster. That's the idea here. They've brought a series of new uniques that there are some examples here. This Event Horizon Mace, which I think it's for melee classes such as the Primalist and the Void Knight. So I don't play these classes, I'm not gonna use. One that gives one armor that changes endurance threshold for ward decay threshold. That's very interesting. This is a scepter and the quiver. I'm not gonna talk too much about them because you're gonna see on builds and you can just read it here. So I'm not gonna... Wow, you can get Dusk Shroud on dodge. That's nice. And the only thing that I haven't talked about is the Harbinger, the Pinnacle boss. So you're gonna find on Echoes new bosses called Harbinger bosses. Okay, here, Harbingers. So you're gonna find these new bosses, Harbingers, playing Echoes, and as you defeat them, you're gonna rank up on the Forgotten Knights faction. And after you defeat every boss from every timeline, you're gonna be able to challenge the Pinnacle boss, which is a boss with a whole new mechanic, Eberoth, a servant of Aerobus. Wish we could face Aerobus already, but that's it. And this boss looks pretty cool. Apparently he comes, you fight him in 4 timelines, so not timelines. Yeah, so you can fight him in the 4 eras. The fight's gonna take you to the 4 eras, and he's the new... I think he's gonna be the toughest boss around for a while, and he's probably gonna offer some nice rewards. I really hope so. He's not gonna be released on Legacy. They're gonna leave it like a challenge for cycle players to defeat it first, which is nice. A lot of people like that. I don't, but a lot of people do, and I see that. So to fight him, you have to defeat the Harbingers in all timelines, and then you're able to fight him. And I don't know about the next fight, like you defeat him today, okay, that's fine. So do you have to defeat every boss again to fight him? Or you can just go ahead and fight him and raise corruption? Can he raise corruption? Is he on a timeline? I don't know, that's not clear for me, but I think that's gonna be clear as soon as the patch launches and I start playing it. I'm gonna make another video explaining this to you guys. So I hope you guys like this part. I'm going now to the next dev update, and if anything's not clear on this part, please tell me. I'm gonna rework, I'm gonna do better work, and I really need your feedback. So let's go to that next part. On this part, I haven't read it fully. I'm gonna be reading and talking to you guys live about this. Sorry. Now, I read this part with some changes into the blessings, and I liked it very much. Blessings are very important in a lot of builds. Like on my Blood Dancer, I have 80% a blessing that gives me 80% bleed on hits, and that's very important for the build. So what they're making it here is that when a blessing appears to you, it'll be available for you to change it later. You don't have to defeat the boss and get a chance of getting the blessing that you want. So you'll be able to, when a blessing appears, it's yours on that character, okay? On another character, it's gonna be available, but at its minimum level. This other character will have to finish the timeline, beat the boss, and then he can choose. My rogue, on my rogue, I've farmed the boss many times and I have all the blessings. Great. So I go to the mage, and the mage will have the minimum of all the blessings when I defeat the boss, when I clear the timeline with the mage. So that's a very nice change. I think it's easier. I think it's really boring to farm blessings. It's just a lot cooler to farm. A lot cooler and fun to farm items. And that's pretty much it. They've made some ladder improvements. Let's see what's about that. Sorry. Pinner players have to officially challenge each other. New ladder leveler. This will track the race to level 100 by showing the leading cycle character. That's cool. The characters that will have a time stamp and a total experience to show who reached level 100 first. That's cool. Some nerds will love that. Also a timestamp to the arena, who reached farther and fastest. That's cool. Monolith timeline search, what's this? It's a search filter that you can choose from up here, and then it shows the echoes that you want to farm. That's very nice. Looks for getting some new filtering options. You enable to add multiple affix conditions to a single rule. For example, you can have one condition for boots to only show if they have boots tier 6 or higher, and then another condition to others tier 6. Oh, I see. Show a filter rule number on the end of the label. What's rule number? I didn't get that. Oh, there's numbers here to make it easier. That's very cool. Like LP1 items are very common and they're not very good. So some items I just want to see LP2 and forward. And weavers will also, like 8 weavers will suck. So I like to farm 15, 18 and above. And that's very nice. On this one, to be able to put like 2 affixes, different affixes rule to better filter what we want is very nice on higher level and higher corruption characters. So we can filter trash. And let's see about item factions. You suggested the upcoming new ranks. That's cool. It's gonna go above 10? No, it's just, they've just changed it. Let's see. In 95 5% increased favor gain. That's very good because it takes forever to get at rank 10. I had like 5 characters when I reached Merchant Skills level 10. Oh, it's gonna have a rank 12. You're gonna have plus 60 increased favor gain. That's very good. That allows us to buy a lot more stuff and to farm a lot more stuff. So they're making pretty much easier to farm on this patch. Scale less with corruption. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, some ranks definitely were definitely trash. And the last ranks were just awesome. Yeah, not awesome, but they were good. Yeah, the Bazaar search system definitely needs an update. Like, I forgot now, but I'm gonna remember the update that I had suggested. So here are the ranks. These are unchanged. Rank 6 splitted. Let's see. Buy exalted armor or directly from other players. Okay. You can buy unique weapons and not with legendary potential. Rank previous 6 now is rank 7. 7 now it's 8. So they've moved this up. Okay, they moved this and now rank. Oh, so they've splitted the ranks. I see. So rank 10 now is split in 2, so it's harder to get. It's rank 12. So basically, you get more favor, but you have to get farther to buy everything. That's it. Now, Circle of Fortune, rank 12, I think it has something very, very good. Prophecy grants twice as many, previously rank 10, no longer duplicate. No, I thought there was gonna be something about bosses here. Oh, here. This is new. At rank 10, bosses have 150% increased drop rate. Now, this is very good for farming boss-specific items. Like, I remember Wings of Argentus was a very, very good armor for my Spellblade, but it was so hard, almost impossible to get. Like, I had to spend weeks farming to get a LP2 or a LP3, and the LP4 just doesn't exist. So, this is great. Gaze of Orobis. Let's see what they've changed. Okay, so they've raised the Gaze of Corruptions and now offers 12 corruption. That's great. Oh, and they've put a threshold. Now we can only have 4 gazes at a time. So it makes their gazes more valuable. Like they give more corruption and you can have only 4, so you can't waste them. That's nice. They've put a lot of changes that provides higher corruption to increase corruption faster. That's nice. At least for me it is. But when you have new characters, it's very nice. It takes less time to get farther. On the first character, I think you have to be careful with raising corruption too fast. Okay, so they're making a lot of changes. This one for channeling skill, I think it's great. Like on the mage, I didn't like most channeling skills because you just couldn't sustain the mana. They no longer prevent mana base regen, so we can basically actually cast the skill now. Great. That's very nice. And I want to read about Disintegrate. I think it's such a cool skill, but it's just not strong. Let's see. Unintended between two unique Ignifier's Head and Gambler's Fallacy. This come alive overcap crit strike, which have a massive multiplier to Disintegrate. This wasn't a particular healthy interaction to make it. Will no longer work on 1.1. Gambler's Fallacy and Ignifier's Head. Wow, 25 notes for Disintegrate. But I really, really want to do a Disintegrate build. base damage. I do have it. My idea of the Coldfire Rune Master was this. And wow, they've increased a lot of damage to disintegrate. Oops. So I'm definitely gonna make a freaking strong build on disintegrate. And like this, let's see the nodes that they've changed. Stack of Lucomancer, increasing global damage to ignite or shocked enemies by 4%. And reduced mana cost. Now this Lucomancer just became a great node. So global damage 4%, it should increase 4 per damage. So I'm gonna go back to disintegrate because the video just stopped in the middle of it. I think it stopped on Lucomancer, which is good, but Hyperfocal is definitely gonna make it a strong lightning spell, I hope. Like, let's say I have 900 mana, okay? It gives 1% per 8 mana. So let's divide it by 8. You're gonna have 112.5% more damage from Disintegrate from this node. So that's very nice. And this one with Fireball. So when you stop channeling, you're gonna cast Fireball twice. That's also very nice to put on a fire build and deal some damage. Fireball's gonna crit, so you make it crit here. Although it's damage over time, disintegrate. Yeah, let's see, but it's probably something nice. I don't care about these classes, I don't play passives. The Shaman, the Primalist, or the Forge Guard. So, Sentinel, sorry. On Sorcerer, we have a few new passive nodes that are interesting. Mainly the Dragon Breath changed. I think this was cycling elemental stuff. So now it gives area for area skill and elemental damage. And here on Mana Shell, it used to be armor. Now it gives ward per second, which I think is pretty much nice. And this Mana Well gives 50% of mana spent gains this ward. So you can have like 200 or plus percent, a lot more actually on your build, which is a lot of ward per mana spent. I don't play Shaman or the other. And here on the ward balances, so ward is just so much better than health now. Or they could buff health or nerf ward. Let's see what they'll do. Not a full-on nerf, so they're nerfing ward. So basically, if you have below 4000 ward or ward and health, you're gonna be able to maintain it better, and above that it's gonna be harder to maintain. So that, I think that's a pretty fair nerf, but I really wish they'd make us able to increase health further. That'd be cool, and maybe that'd be another way to balance health. But I just think it's not the dev's idea to make us reach 5,000-6,000 corruption. I think that's just an outliner for them. And there's gonna be even more changes throughout the game with patch 1.1, but from this, I'm gonna make sure to tell you, I'm definitely gonna try to buff up Disintegrate on my Rune Master from now, hoping that these changes will make a whole difference and make a 2.0 version of them. And that's it, guys. That's the new changes coming to lastepoch on July 9th for the Harbingers of Ruin update. I hope you like this video. If you have any doubts about it, please tell me. And if you like my channel, please help me out. Subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna start to do more lives on more platforms. I'm gonna try to do YouTube, Facebook Gaming, and TikTok. So please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment all your doubts. I'll be happy to answer them and your feedbacks. And see you guys later.